This is my personal truck, and I've had it for over a year and a half and nearly 20,000 miles. And it's time for me to maybe move on to another truck. So I want to take this opportunity and give you my long-term update on my Chevy Colorado Trail Boss. I've done basically everything that there is to be done in a pickup truck, and I'm gonna give you the good, the bad, and the ugly, and to keep or not to keep, or would I buy this again? Would I buy this truck again if I had to? Before I get going, why did I buy this truck in the first place? I purchased it in April of 2023, and I've never owned a mid-size pickup truck before. And here was General Motors with Chevy and GMC introducing an all-new chassis and all-new platform of the truck. And I'm the managing editor of TFL Truck. So I thought, I've never had a mid-size truck before, I gotta try it, but I wanted to do everything. So I got a trailering package to tow trailers, and I got an off-road version, the Trail Boss. So that was my reasoning for buying it in the first place. With the new generation of this Chevy Colorado came a new power plant, and it's turbocharged. And it was a controversy because before, in a mid-size truck from GM, you can get a diesel engine or you can get a V6, and now you can only get a 2.7 liter straight 4 turbocharged engine. And I was trying to be frugal when I was choosing the truck. They had 3 power options, same engine but 3 levels of power, and I picked the mid-level of power, and I later tuned it. And by tuning it, I mean I got the high output tune from Chevrolet at the dealership, so it wasn't an aftermarket thing. So now this engine is producing 310 horsepower and 430 pound-feet of torque, and it has an 8-speed automatic transmission. And I thought, you know what, it's going to be so much power, I could probably take any other mid-size truck in a drag race. Well, let me show you a drag race I did against Roman. We had a 5-truck comparison. It was a huge deal. Every updated and new mid-size truck, and I lined up in my Chevy against Roman's Ford Ranger. Well, here's what happened.
At the line, he fell asleep.
No! I fell asleep a little bit. Go shift, shift, shift. Why aren't you shifting?
He fell asleep and it'll be close, and I'm still pulling away. Bye-bye, Andre. Bye-bye.
Faster shifting! Not good. He's got less torque and less horsepower.
Did you fall asleep, Andre? Were you, were you just getting your tissues out?
Did you see that? Ouch. That Ford Ranger with a smaller displacement engine, less horsepower and less torque beat my Chevy. I couldn't believe it. But I think the key to it was not just me falling asleep at the starting line just for a fraction of a second, but it was also the transmission. The Ford Ranger's transmission, the 10-speed, seems to shift really, really quickly and delivering maximum torque, while this 8-speed wasn't shifting quite as quick. And also, of course, I have these off-road tires. So a small disappointment there, but overall, this engine has been serving me well in daily driving. I just got my oil analysis from Blackstone Laboratories, and this is not a sponsorship. I paid for this oil report about $40. But here's what it says after almost 20,000 miles on my engine and the latest oil change. It says right here, this report from your Colorado is almost flawless. The flash point is the only item we're making in bold, so just noteworthy. And that's because minor fuel dilution was noted in the oil. But this is usually just from normal use, though it isn't something that causes harm or needs to be corrected. And then you can see like all of my data here. October 4th is when I changed my oil, blah, blah, blah. Everything is within limits. And here's a little item that they marked right there. And then they say, okay, so you changed the oil after about 9,000 miles. Very nice. Try 12,000 miles next time. So I was following my oil life meter in my truck, which told me to change my oil. This lab, independent lab that I'm paying for, is telling me I should change my oil less frequently. So I tend to trust my oil meter because it seems to be working. I mean, my oil is still in good condition. There's TBN, total base number, is within limits. So this is pretty cool. Let me know what you think about this stuff. Should I change my oil less frequently or more frequently? Yes, of course, in this video, I'm gonna tell you about reliability, my experience, my service experience with this truck at the dealership. We're gonna discuss all of it. But before I get there, I really wanna talk about off-roadability of this truck. First of all, it's already lifted from the factory. It's a Trail Boss. I chose this optional tire, which is a Goodyear Wrangler Territory MT. It's quite aggressive. It's a trade-off, right? When you get a tire like this, you probably will do better in most off-road conditions, rocky terrain, a little bit muddy terrain, sandy terrain, but you're gonna lose fuel efficiency and it might get a little bit noisy. Initially, I was super happy with this tire, loved it. But then, after 20,000 miles, even though I've rotated these tires a couple times, they're getting a little bit more noisy, and I'm noticing the noise. But, this is a truck, so I'm used to slightly noisier tires. I want to show you what happened when I took this truck at Tumbleweed Ranch, and I went into the back course, which is very challenging.
Your chin's starting to plow into the dirt. If you get up on this rock, you're probably good.
Okay. Only some of the modified trucks that we've had here do not drag. Oh! I've been very happy with the way this truck performed off-road. Yes, I put a little bit of damage maybe here, just scraped underneath of this bumper, just a tiny bit at that ranch, but my son and I went out and we did Kingston Peak together in this truck. And I was never worried about ground clearance or traction. This truck has a lot of good stuff, including the G80 rear locking differential, which is kind of an automatic locker. So I've been really, really happy, except my spare is actually not my Goodyear Territory tire. It's actually just a basic spare, but I've never had to use it. The Goodyears have been serving me super great. Now you're probably wondering about fuel efficiency, and I have, like you can see, almost 20,000 miles. So let me show you my trip meter. So this is pretty handy. This is my lifetime. You can see that 19,881 miles, 19.5 mpg. So this is very similar to what EPA rates this Trail Boss at, because of those tires I talked about. It has a lot of off-road capability, but it will hurt your efficiency a little bit. This is my recent trip. My family and I, we went to New Mexico. We went to Farmington, New Mexico, and then Albuquerque, and we did a lot of miles, as you can see here, including some of my kind of commuting miles on the highway, and we got 21.3 mpg. But so those numbers are not super impressive. But here, I wanted to show you this. We did several Denver 100 loops with this truck, which is our loop around Denver, Colorado, where we measure efficiency. And here's what happened in this truck. Let's see what it does. It could be a little bit better than 23. We'll have to wait and see. Alrighty, so we're almost there. I'm gonna just top off after about 30 seconds. Okay, that's it. Let's calculate. 4.659. 111 miles divided by 4.659 equals 23.8. Did you see that? In the measured way, we got 23.8 mpg. So that's better than any of this data. So if you are driving at a steady state speed on the highway, including here in Colorado, you can get a decent economy from this turbocharged engine. But in daily life, and also with towing trailers, let me show you towing, by the way. So I do have my app for trailering, as Chevy calls it. I've recently pulled my boat about 466 miles. That's this summer, and I got 10.21 mpg pulling my 6,000 pound boat. By the way, I love this software that they have for trailering. Also, I love my off-road software. I do have this. I can see my elevation, see a lot of my data, really easy to reach. And then also air down mode. My son and I use this to air down in the mountains. So it has a lot of cool features for off-roading and also measuring and tracking your efficiency. Like I said in the very beginning, I wanted this little truck to do everything. And I love this payload number, 1,514 pounds in a 4x4 crew cab midsize truck. That's excellent. That's more than some full-size pickup trucks. And the tow rating is 7,700 pounds. And I did get that towing package, so I do have the brake controller. And then Mr. Truck and I took this truck against 4 others. Like I told you, we compared this truck to every other new midsize truck. We took it to the Ike Gauntlet, the world's toughest towing test. And do you know what happened? Well, let me show you the conclusion of that. Are you ready?
Yes.
Sorry, we had some traffic. And stopping now.
7.54.
7 minutes, 54 seconds, almost 55, and 5.1 mpg.
This is amazing. That includes, temperatures and MPG, the,
Acceleration, time up the mountain, all that stuff. So by a small margin, Colorado wins.
Wow, that's good. That's good. It's actually probably the oldest truck out there, wasn't it, out of the 5?
No, the Nissan was.
Oh, the Nissan?
I mean, the Pentastar Jeep is the oldest truck.
That's right. I forgot about that.
Aha! I could not be happier. This truck won. It went up against the Ranger, the Ridgeline, the Frontier, all of them. This truck won our Ike Gauntlet toughest towing test competition. And I've also used this truck personally to tow my 6,000 pound ski boat back and forth to the lake. And I couldn't be happier when we load up with camping gear, my entire family, a boat behind us. This little truck pulled that weight really, really good. I'm not going to mention cruise control. That was my mistake. And probably on my headstone, when I pass away, it'll say no cruise control. But what is a little bit upsetting to me, there is no telescoping steering wheel here. It's just up and down motion. I would have preferred, I know this is a more affordable truck, but I would have preferred a telescoping motion here too. And this steering wheel feels a little bit not super high-end quality. But this is what's really bugging me. This is a very simple visor, right? It looks pretty good this way, but it doesn't extend this way. And there's a huge space here with the sun going directly in the side of my face as I drive, specifically like to Albuquerque. And but other Colorados have this slide feature. So if you got like a Z71 or the ZR2, so why not put it here? I mean, how much money are you saving by this? So those are a couple of things, including kind of like this dark plastics that are not wearing totally well. You can kind of see, there's some blemishes on it. Other than those things, I really love the interior of this truck. Let me show you a couple of items I've recently added to my truck. It's not the toolbox, and it's not this. So I've been wanting this for quite some time. Just kind of a swing away little storage box. And yeah, I have a couple of items in here, like my Way-Safe shackle here, soft shackles and the rest, and I put my straps in here as well. This truck doesn't have a lot of storage underneath the rear seat like a full-size truck would. So I've been looking for solutions, and I think this is one of the solutions I found. Then, of course, tonneau cover, you've seen that before. And my friend Marcio, actually, I picked this skid plate from him, and I haven't installed it yet. And this is a continuation of a story that I'll tell you inside the truck in just a minute. Powering up my Colorado. Let's let it finish binging and bonging. Okay, it's good. First of all, wireless CarPlay, love it. Now let's talk about reliability. Let me go to my homepage. Let me go to my camera. If you've been watching TFL Truck, you know that I've had some issues with my reverse camera. And I actually had to go to the dealership a couple of different times, in fact 4 different times, for this issue to be resolved. It took a while to diagnose the problem, why the reverse camera wasn't working. And then it got some time also to actually get the parts needed. And in the end, it was an actual wire that goes from the tailgate down here towards the front of the truck that actually sends the video signal from the camera down up to my monitor here. So finally, my dealership took care of it, but it was quite an issue because I had to make several visits and my truck was out of service several different times. Also, if you've been watching, I had trouble, my screen went black, my gauge screen went black, but that was kind of a temporary issue that I solved with a little just reboot of the truck by pulling the 12-volt battery and reconnecting it. And I've never had that problem. That was just a one and done issue. And also, my truck bricked itself once trying to do a software update. So let me show you here under settings, updates, kind of updates history. So this is, it's available with over-the-air updates. And my truck tried to do one update several months back and just got stuck in the process and drained its own battery and then just kind of died. So it took me a while to bring it back. So no powertrain problems, by the way. So all my issues seem to be including, well, I guess other than the cable for the camera, are really software related in this truck. And I was one of the first people to buy it. Now, that skid plate in the back of the truck, and Marcio, he also had bought a brand new Chevy Colorado, similar to mine. His was a Z71, and he had powertrain problems, transmission problem. In fact, he had so many problems, even though he bought some accessories like that skid plate, he just sold the truck back to Chevrolet. He was that unhappy with it. And it just, I know, it's just one person story. So it's not like I'm saying every new Colorado is having issues, but at least Marcio, you know, after about a year, maybe less, of ownership, decided to sell the truck back and get something else instead. So now I have a skid plate from him. So I'm kind of thankful, but I feel bad for him. Also, I've added this little cargo tray on top of my, this was a 3D printed part that Marcia also found somewhere. So I kind of, it's kind of neat. I can put, you know, my glasses in here or something. And remember to go further. It's kind of a reminder for me. So that's reliability. Oh yeah, and here's a quick look about the used value on my Chevy Colorado. I'm at tfltruck.com, our website, and we're here we have High Road, sell your truck link at the very top. And it works pretty quickly. You can view your offers almost instantly. So basically I can add my VIN. My condition is okay, good. Damage, normal wear. Odometer, 19800. Zip code, 80301. And wow, that was quick. This is my best offer right now, at least with High Road, $34,600. Of course, I can also try to trade it in on another truck at the dealership. I could sell it myself, maybe on Facebook or Craigslist. So I have several options. Which way will I go? I'm not sure yet. Well, as you see, it's been a roller coaster of a ride. I've been very happy with certain things about this truck and fairly unhappy about some others. But in the end, before I tell you my final verdict, I've been happy with the purchase price of this Colorado Trail Boss. I got it for under 41 grand a year and a half ago with a couple of additions and some accessories. Yes, this could be I have probably $43,000 into it. And what is it worth now? Well, maybe that's the next video in the series. But my final verdict, will I buy this again or not? And the answer is no. But it may not be the reason you're thinking. First of all, I had a bigger truck and I went to this truck. Actually, I had several bigger trucks before this, and I need to go to a full-size truck. This mid-sizer is just a little bit too small for my life, and just because I'm a big guy in general, It's just a little bit too small for me. Also, the service experience and the software issues that I've had with this truck give me a pause. And also, I'm an enthusiast, so I really love that great acceleration engine sound, and I haven't been getting that sound from this engine. Well, there you have it. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Check out oldtfl.com and stay tuned, because I want to buy my next truck really soon, maybe within a couple of weeks. So stay tuned, and I'll see you next time.